Welcome back, guys. I'm your host, Maddie. I got Chris here. You guys, we're in the future, but we're in the past. But, I'm so excited. I'm going on vacation, and then I get to come back, and then I get to go to a tournament. And you know what tournament that is? We are going to the Salt Flats with the Salt City at Mythos on November 9th. But no, I'm just super pumped, and I get to hang out with a lot of these people that I enjoy being around. But Chris, what about you, man? How you doing? It's been a minute.
Not too much. It's gonna be a short week for me at work. Nothing too crazy. Really been working on editing and trying to get a little bit better, and different projects with some different content creators is super fun. So let's take about a lot of my time, and I'm really enjoying just kind of putting magic on the back burner and putting content creation kind of a little bit further. So what do we have on the docket for today? We talked about our week a little bit. What else we got going on?
Well, first off, I do want to give a shout out to one of our locals that we have at the game shop. His name is Brick. We want to shout you out, man. You've been awesome. We've watched you come up as a little casual to competitive, and you're just doing it, man. I just want to give you a shout out, man. You've been awesome to watch play, and I can't wait to come back next week, and we can hopefully jam some games. But what we're going to talk about today is some very fun things. Well, first off, I got to plug it one more time to my buddies John and Daniel. We got a tournament this coming week, which when you listen to this is literally in 2 days. 2 days. And it's the Salt Flats, you guys. It's a 3K. Awesome prizes. Duels up for grab. I'm going to go through it real quick for you so we know what's going on. The tournament itself is November 9th in Utah, South Jordan to be precise, at Mythos Games. Players meeting is at 9, so you got to get there 30 minutes earlier. So try to get there at 8:30, and we can get everything set up and get going and start at 9. Ground prize, Underground Sea. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing card. I would like it, but finalists, this is where I'm at. A Bayou, a Badlands, Scrubland. This is super cool, and shout out to Salt City for doing this. So semifinalist prize bundle. These 6 cards per semifinalist. All 5 of the fetches from Modern Horizon 3 and a Force of Will. Okay, don't get me wrong. I want to win first when I go to these tournaments. I'm going to say it right now. Got to get first. But, this prize support is pretty dope, you guys. I would say it's worth the drive. Come on. Come out. Come play. That is what we're going to be talking about today, you guys, is the Salt Flats. What is going on? What are me and Chris bringing? What are we planning on running into? What to expect at a tournament, and what to yourself prepare if it's your first tournament. It's not your first. What if you haven't been to a CEDH tournament before? What's it like to play in a 4-player game? We're going to answer some questions. We're going to talk about a tournament here, but Chris here, we kind of have a hint to it before on pre-talks. What do you bring into the tournament this week, dog?
Man, I've been testing out Malcolm a good amount.
Okay.
Malcolm Vile. I feel like it's in a very good spot. I've looked at a couple decks from the previous weekend. They're going pretty aggressive with it. It feels like a Rog Sai with a little bit more slanted mid-range, which is kind of what I prefer than going all in. Kind of like the Crom Tadesh, if you will, but lower CMC. Yeah, I like it. I've been trying it out. I don't feel 100% comfortable with it. The deck that I really feel more comfortable with, and the Magna players are going to hate it, but it is going to be probably a Kinnan deck, more than likely. Kinnan is absurdly good. If it's not being played in a meta, I think it needs to be. I know that Salt City's meta doesn't necessarily like Kinnan. Will probably target Kinnan, but I think it's resilient enough, and I think you don't need to play out Kinnan too early to really get the advantage of it. So
I do want to put a pause on you real quick. Chris, I think you are a masochist, dog. You always play decks that get you targeted. Do you want to talk about, do we need to have a midweek meta therapy session on that?
I mean, outside of Blue Farm, what rule deck is able to withstand being targeted? I don't think there's too many decks out there.
No.
So I think that's one reason why Blue Farm did so well in the past, because targeting, cool, kill my commanders, stop my commanders coming down. I don't really care. Malcolm Vile has some of those same things because it's Grixis. Cool, stop my commanders, kill my commanders. Cool. I'm going to go for Thassa's Oracle win-line. Okay, we stop Thassa's Oracle's win-line. I can go for Breach. It has these multiple different ways to go. I like to play ones that can pivot pretty well, and I think Kinnan has at least 2 win conditions, one of infinite damage, the other one infinite, draw your entire deck at instant speed, pass priority, and everyone dies besides me. I like the stacks ability of it. I really enjoy being able to say no on the board as well as say no in the hand, and it kind of does both. Kinnan just makes a bunch of mana. Right now, I think that's kind of the way to go. Rogsai, great deck, makes a bunch of mana very quick. Rog Vile, once again, makes a lot of mana. And those decks, I think, are doing really, really well. Even Malcolm, hey, we lost some other different pieces, but we still have treasures based on our commander. I think mana right now is the axis that I really want to go on, and I think Kinnan really is that deck that abuses it the most.
Do you want to give some spice you have in your deck, or do you want to keep that a little hush hush? Because we will release this episode right before the tournament, so I don't want to knee shot you here, dog.
No, I'll give you the spice. I'm boring. I am pepper and salt. I have no paprika. I have no chili powder.
You white boy in it, dog. You white boy in it, huh?
Absolutely. I think about the only thing that I'd really consider is I don't necessarily care for Perplexing Chimera. I definitely could consider it. I think most
I got
people
one
do
if you
not
need it. So
no, I got it. I just don't care for it because right now I don't want to go to time necessarily, and I think that's one of those cards that really enables the chaos and the hey, we got to figure out and talk about this. How does this interact to for the next 20 minutes while we try to resolve the stack? Well, how does Chimera work with this? It's like it can be a little bit convoluted. I'm not overly confident with it. In my perspective, I'd much rather have different ways to draw cards. Sylvan Library, Comedian, normally you run that kind of package, and I kind of prefer that package. I know people really like yes. So you have Polywog Prodigy from the newer set, which people will play, and I've heard enough, and I've played it a little bit here and there, and I'm like, I don't really want to play it turn 2 or even turn 1. It doesn't feel great. I get that's another draw engine, and Sylvan Library is semi-similar,
it's
kind of in the way.
Valley Floodcaller is the card you're talking about.
Yeah, so then Valley Floodcaller would be the other one where people want to play stuff at instant speed. I already have an instant speed win line, and I don't know how playing my rocks at instant speed on someone's end step really gives me a huge advantage. Where I'd much rather just have a Kogla over that. I'd much rather have something to a big green dude that does crazy stuff. I'd much rather have the other Nezahal over that kind of piece. I want to be able to flip into good things and having 2/2s that I need to do other stuff with, and they just don't come down and just wreck the entire game. That's kind of how Kinnan really operates. It's cool. Make a bunch of mana, play Kinnan, wheel, or look at the top 5 and put something down that just disrupts the entire game. Cool. Hey, no one can cast Void Winter. No one can cast any, even spells. Like, that really upsets the game. And that's the thing. It's been a while since I played Kinnan, so I need to get a couple different rounds in. So I definitely will be doing that in between edits and things like that, but definitely Friday and Sunday. Are you bringing the same deck again?
Oh, absolutely. I told you. I'm bringing this dungeon deck. I am topping with it. Okay, like I said in the prize support, I don't necessarily want to win because Underground's pretty cool, but I would really get it by you. That is, green-black is my colors. I would really get that land no matter what. But, yes, I am bringing Thrasios and Ravos. This is my dungeon deck. I'm working it. I'm tuning it, which sounds really weird because I just untuned it because I'm taking it to a casual level. But no, I'm super excited for it. If you want to talk about spice, this whole deck is spice. I run 4 drops that bring me gates out, and that's it. There's the spice. I'm running gates, guys.
Which we talked about, I believe, or at least we looked over in the lands episode, and gates are quite interesting for sure. Do you run any win cons for gates? If you have like 10 gates, you win the game or something like that?
Yeah, I do run Raises End. That is in the deck.
Okay.
It's a ramp piece sometimes, but the biggest thing I'm running, and it was the theme of this deck, was Baldur's Gate. So I'm running a bunch of those ones from the the Magic the Gathering Dungeons & Dragons Baldur's Gate set. The big one is Gong Gate. It makes your gates come in untapped, so it breaks gates, so you automatically get them already, so it's nice. And another cool thing is I actually get to run all these utility lands. Like, the creature lands. They were some of the Dungeons Dragons creature lands, and I was actually
Huh.
able to use them in the Friar tournament afterwards. I swatted them in because I had them in my backpack, and people don't realize that you have them there. You play them, they're like, wait, what's that? And then you're like, oh, I swing with the 3/3 that makes a 1/1 that creates another 1/1, and I have 6 creatures now. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Get the
But
initiative back pretty easily. Yeah, I like it.
oh yeah, that's the big thing initiative deck about this, and you've played against it a couple times. Once I start going, I joke, I'm like, oh, don't stop, I'm not doing anything, and next thing you know, I've gone through the dungeon 16 times in one turn.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm bringing. My spices. I'm bringing the D&D deck. I'm just loving it. I have a blast playing it. I will admit, I do have 2 decks kind of in the back burner, in the back of my kind of roster that I've been playing with is my baby Rocco. I love that guy.
Sure.
I just have a blast playing it, and I don't mean to toot my own horn. I run it so smoothly, and Chris can attest for that. I can do it very well, and it's a deck I enjoy. Which why would you? Most people would ask, why don't you bring that to tournament? It's not the same. I want to bring this D&D deck. I want to earn a win on it, so I got to take it.
You gotta get
And
to
then I
top
also
16 so people can talk about you, right?
Oh yeah, I want that's it. 100%. I want the notoriety. I want to win with this
Yeah.
deck. So hopefully we can get a plus 60 people there, so I can win this tournament, and Ian can talk about my deck and be like, "What is this dungeon deck?" And I'll be like, "Oh man, come be on my podcast. We'll talk about it."
You know what? Not this one, but next one, I will join you in the dungeon. Okay, we will have a battle royale to see who gets top 16.
Okay. Well, I'll go like this: if I top 16 with the dungeon deck this tournament, it will be shelved. Like I'm done with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sorry. Once I top 16, I'm very much like I'm done with this.
well, I hope you don't make it. So then the next one after this, we can
absolutely,
vote
yeah.
for the
I will hold
dungeon.
you to it if you don't. But I will say this: if I do top 16, knock on wood here, I will have. If you bring your dungeon deck, I'll bring Kodama and Timna. I'll rebuild that deck. All creature deck.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the goal. Chris will bring that one. We hit 120 subscribers by the next tournament. I'll bring Kodama and Timna. That sound good?
It's very possible. We've been killing it. Last week we made like 19 subscribers. I'm
Thank
like,
you
this
guys.
is awesome.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
We can't do this without you. So, but before we start rambling on more about this, we said we were going to talk about it. What to expect at these tournaments? We talked about it a little bit when I was talking about the tournament, the prize support, and all that. You said there's a players meeting. What does that mean for a player? Can you want to break that down for him real quick?
So a players meeting, just like in every tournament, they sit down and just explain the rules. Hey, you are who you say you are. You have a deck. You understand the rules. Okay, now everyone look to your left, look to your right. Don't be a dick.
Well, you said
then
deck.
that's pretty
What
much
do you
the
mean about that? Like I physically have my deck. That's all I got to have, right?
So in 60-card formats, you would always write it down on a piece of paper and submit that to the judge, right? And everyone would have a piece of paper. And now these days with technology, you do have to submit a deck online. I mean, it doesn't have to be the right one. I mean, you can still top 16 with. Oh, sorry, Bruce. You know who you are. Enemy number 1. That's what you want to look at. Is make sure you look over your deck the day of. Be there early so that you're able to get snacks and.
So make sure you're hydrated, right? Make sure you've drank water. Make sure you're eating. So you've prepaid. You've got registered. You've got your deck list. Okay, what are you doing? The players meeting just happened. They sit down, and you got potted up. What do you do next?
You say, "Hey, my name's Chris."
Okay. Do you can you start shuffling and mulliganing right away?
Once time starts, you can start shuffling.
Oh, okay. So
and
you gotta wait for
mulliganing.
time. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. So normally these rounds are anywhere between 70 to 80 minutes, depending on. I don't know which one. It normally says it in.
They're gonna be
the
80 minutes
top
on this one.
Woo,
Yeah,
buddy!
we're in it for
80
this one. This is gonna be a
minutes.
long one, guys. So
Man.
again, make sure you have your water. Make sure you bring snacks. Make sure you bring some extra cash so you can get something to eat or something to drink. But you guys, also biggest thing, come with a good attitude. Come to have fun.
So we're shuffling up. We're playing. We're deciding who goes first. Normally they will decide beforehand. You're not going to roll dice like you normally do on EDH, but you're going to figure out. Okay, they're already going to determine who's first seat, who's second seat, who's third seat, who's fourth seat. Super easy. You play your game. Very straightforward. Don't be too nervous. I would always listen to somewhat of the experienced players if they're saying, hey, you really shouldn't do that. If they're able to explain why in an articulated way, I wouldn't just say, I'm going to do it anyways.
Okay,
They
okay.
are probably saying it for a reason. So if you're newer to the format, it's okay to listen to some people and say, "Well, can you explain why?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, sure, this is why." Hopefully, if they don't explain why, then do whatever you were doing beforehand.
Okay, okay.
That's politicking for you.
All right, so say my dungeon deck, I just go off and I win. What do I do next?
Go get your mind straight. The biggest thing with
Hey,
doing 80 minutes,
hey!
you go get your mind straight. You get away from the game. You go chill. You report obviously to a
Okay,
judge
okay. So you
saying,
report.
"Hey,
Okay,
I
okay.
won." You report, "Hey," that way someone doesn't say, "Actually, I won," and then we have a disputed, conversation later. But really, whenever you're done with the game, get away from the game.
Okay.
Get away from the game. You can look at it and see what the rest of the meta is looking like, just for ease. Like, oh, this person's playing this. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that looks like. I hope I take on that deck, or I hope I don't take on that deck. But really get away, disconnect from the game because if you won in 5 minutes, you have 75 minutes, if not a little bit longer, before you're going to be right back in it. And if you are able to have your brain relaxed and you're calm, cool, and collected, the times that I've done the best in Magic are the times I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to go home or I'm going to go on a plane in 7 hours. So I don't care if I win, lose, draw. It doesn't matter. I'm just having fun. And those are normally the times where I go all the way up the thing and win the RCQ. I'm like, what's happening? Normally being relaxed and chill, having a good time and being able to not be stressed, because when you're stressed, you're not going to articulate yourself. You're not going to be able to politic properly. You're not going to be able to think properly. You're going to think with that amygdala opposed to your other side of your brain that really deals with logic.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense. No, take a break.
yeah.
And just so everyone, okay, attention now. We're at the end of it. I've been to enough of these tournaments. I agree, Chris, on all this. This is all correct. Like, you need to step away. That is 100%. I got to break character. You need to, even if you don't win, you need to step away. Because if you sit there and be like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. It's good to know that, but you need to step away, because if you dwell too much in your own head, you're not going to be able to move to the next game. And that's the worst part.
One thing that people do, and I've seen it, is they'll take notes. They'll write everything that they need to do, write down, and they'll forget about it. And at the end of the day, they'll either put it on their Discord for their friends to see. They'll go over and review their own notes, but really, like, getting all your thoughts out and not having them go over and over and over in your head is like a mental health thing. Like, it's really good for you to, like, get your emotions out, get your thoughts out, and then forget about them.
Yeah.
And then be away, and you can review them later. So I think I might try that. If you're getting too much in your own head, hey, write everything down on a piece of paper for 10 minutes and then forget about it. That can be done with later. And you can review like, oh man, I should have done this, but I'm not going to kick myself, oh, I should have done this right now. Do that later. Learn from your mistakes at a later date.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, end of the night. It's been 5 rounds. You've made top 16. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
But you know the best part? You're in a non-timed round. Congratulations, you made the top 16. You win that one. Guess what? You're going to top 4. But the one thing, I will say this right now, in a top 16 game, you don't draw.
No,
you
can't.
You can't draw. So most of the time, and it happens very rarely, they'll restart the game. Once the game is locked, that no one can move or pass forward, they can restart. So be aware that can happen. But you made the top 4. You beat those other 3. You're there. You power through it. It was a 4-hour game. Congratulations, Chris. You've won the tournament with Kinnan. What are you doing with your winnings?
I'm going to Disney World.
Woo!
No, I'm going home because if the tournament starts at like 9:00, right? So you have 80 minutes of 5 rounds minimum if nothing goes to time, and they take 10 minutes to do their turn 0, right? And then you have another 2 untimed rounds. You're going to be so mentally drained. I love having our group there because there's nothing like other people rooting you on and saying, you got this, man. You're in the finals. Don't the likelihood of you winning is not high. To be honest, you have a 25% chance of winning, maybe, if you're doing well. Everyone that's gotten to the finals deserves to be there, 100%. They have fought through all the Swiss. They have fought through the top 16 and into the finals. These are good players. They're good players. So don't beat yourself up if you get to that top 4 and you just can't win it. You have to draw a better hand than everyone else. Your turn priority needs to be phenomenal. They need to have the not the right counters. They need to be greedy. They need to be not greedy. There's a lot of things that come in that
Oh yeah,
is
absolutely.
some RNG. Is some RNG, and normally like a 1v1 format like 60 card like modern. There's a lot of RNG, and now you multiply that. It's 25% is you don't hit on blackjack on 25% ever. So it's okay. It's okay. You just getting top 16. I've known a lot of people that got like 17th and 18th, and you know what? Congratulations.
Oh yeah.
If you even get close, that's really good. There's people that go there all the time and do not meet top 16. It happens.
It does.
You are not assured. You are not assured top 16. So even just making top 16, congratulations.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's an
Congratulations.
accomplishment.
Just getting a win. Congratulations, you guys. Just if you pop a win out, congratulations. You earned it. Besides that, Chris, is there anything you want to give the viewers, the listeners, anything last piece of advice you want to give them before we head out?
Get enough sleep. Don't take it too seriously. Enjoy your tournaments. Listen to people if they sound like they know what they're doing. And have a good time and enjoy yourself. It's tournament play. It's a little bit more stress. There's some more on the line, but at the end of the day, it's a game. Enjoy yourself.
All right, Chris, I can't say it better myself. It's biggest thing is have a good time. It's the biggest thing. Have fun. Remember, you're there to play. As cheesy as it is, to play a game. Yeah, there's a lot online, but remember, A plus B equals fun. And this, it really is. And only thing I'll ever say is just remember, check your deck the night before. Make sure that looks good. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you get that scrub-a-dub-dub, as Chris said. And best thing, remember to always be confident, but not condescending. With that, you guys, have a great night. I'll catch you guys next week. I'm going to enjoy Phoenix. Chris, enjoy Queen's Realm this weekend. And I will catch you the following week. You guys, we'll talk to you later.